Flashback, last year in my room, when I prayed for this life to come true.
Hello everyone, it's Victoria Breezeforce here today, back again with another video for you guys, and this will be one of the first videos for 2020. I'm still here in 2019, but Happy New Year everyone. So in today's video, we will be doing the best and worst horses I bought in 2019. Now, I could just do like a wrap up of all the horses I bought, but I thought like let's make it more fun and like I can give you my opinion of the best and the worst that I bought. So let's just get into it. So the first horses to be released in January were the second batch of Clydesdales, and they were released on January 9th, and they were 750 star coins apiece. Now, I actually didn't buy all these horses when they came out. I bought them later down the line, starting with the first horse, which was the Black Sabina Clydesdale. I named him Brave Hill, like, you know, my Lippin's on her Guardian Hill, but like Brave Hill like did a spin on it. However, I bought this horse, like I said, later down the line because I thought it was, like, really, really cute, you know? And I asked my ex-boyfriend at the time, like, oh, like, should I get it? And I let him name him and whatnot. And so, that being said, this is one of the worst horses I bought in 2019. Next up, we have the Flaxen Chestnut, or as I like to call it, the Raw Lobster, because that's what it reminds me of. I named him Copperhoof, and honestly, I just don't vibe with this horse. He was in the horses I regret buying video, and he just ain't for me, you feel? So that being said, he is definitely a worst on the list. The third horse was one of the last for the batch of Clydesdales that was released, and Star Stable called it a gray with brownish base and white socks. And like I'm torn on this horse, I named him Smoke Whisper. I don't necessarily hate him, but I'm not like, wow, I love him. Which I mean, considering the Clydesdale is like my channel horse, like my channel mascot, you think I would like them more. But actually, he falls in the worst category too, which is kind of surprising, but these Clydesdales just didn't do it for me. Next up on the list, we have the Jorvik Warmbloods that we had actually purchased in game for the first time. They were released February 13th, and they were 750 star coins apiece, but I mean, I feel like we all know how I feel about them, but let's just get right into this. Now, with these horses, this was one of, like, the only times that Star Stable released 4 in a batch. I mean, it's probably because they didn't put as much work into them. Mirrored! What was that? Did you... anyways. This is number 4 on the list, and I bought the Liver Chestnut and named it Candy Heart before I realized they were mirrored, and I just don't appreciate that and don't really support that. I think the horse is very stunning and you can't really notice in this horse, but with that being said, it still gets a worst ranking for my list. Which, funny enough, so many people were asking me, oh, why'd you buy Candy Heart then? Like, if it was mirrored, that was because I bought it before it was mirrored. However, funny story, I bought 2 of the blanketed buckskins and I named them Hot Tea. And it was for the dares video I had planned out. I printed all the dares out and everything. And then, you know, that good old thing that my game does where it says it can't connect to server and I have to completely factory reset my laptop. That happened and I lost the footage. So I got stuck with 2 more of the mirrored horses that I despise. So they also get a worst ranking on my list, you feel? Next up, Star Stable released the updated Chincoteague Ponies on March 13th, which is a day after my dog's birthday, fun fact. And they were 700 star coins a piece, which I think is a little bit steep for a pony, but maybe that's just me. So for the 6th horse I bought was the Light Chestnut Tobiano. And this horse, when I saw sneak peeks of it, I was like, I have to get that pony. I have to, right? It was just gorgeous. So I got her, named her Morning Glory, and she gets one of the best rankings on this list, which, I mean, we've got a lot of worse, so we finally got a good one, eh? Number 7 would have been the Smoky Black Tobiano Chincoteague Pony, and I guess I lied to you guys when I said I bought them, because I actually had one of my best friends on the game. She trains my horses for me. I was super busy with work and stuff on the time, so she bought them. for me because I asked her to, and so I got the Smoky Black Tobiano and named it Storm Chaser. And honestly, I love this horse. We all know I love a good black and white moment, so that's why it gets one of the best rankings on the list. And then Star Stable had the Jorvik Stables open house event again, where they actually released limited edition horses, and that was on April 10th, and they were 949 star coins a piece. Now, for the Lippens Honors, I'm actually shocked because most of you guys voted that they were some of the worst on my list. But if anybody knows me, the Bay Lippens Honor is actually one of my all-time favorite horses in the game. So I'm kind of offended, guys. I'm not going to lie. But no. I got Greystone, which Star Stable never specified on the coat colors for these, so we're just going to go with the names. But I got Greystone, and he's obviously one of my best because I'm biased. Number 9 would have been Silver Dollar, and of course he's one of the best as well because come on, he's a Lippens Honor. I know not many people like them, but I love them. And then we got Smoke Shadow. I feel like he's more of like a plain one, but like I still like him, so he still gets a best, you feel? And I do feel like Star Stable will probably add these horses back next year, but like who really knows? Number 11 on the list was the Flea Bitten Lusitano that was at the Jorvik Stables open house event. I named him Grand Champion, and this horse is absolutely stunning. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forget about it time and time again, but he's definitely like, he's a looker, you feel? So that's why he gets a best on the list. Then for number 12, we have the Liver Chestnut Lusitano. And if anybody knows me, they know I absolutely adore this horse. So her name is Dewdrop, and she is like one of the top best that I bought. Like, highly, highly, highly recommend this horse. If she ever comes back, y'all should like swoop her up, you know? Next up, Star Stable added more Chincoteague Ponies on April 24th, which is 2 days after my birthday, and again, they were 700 star coins, and shockingly enough, for how much I like the Chincoteague Ponies, I don't have a lot of them. So the only pony that I picked up from this batch, I didn't even pick up. You see, I had my friend Haley pick out horses, well, a horse for My Best Friend Plays Star Stable, which y'all are sleeping on that video, so I will link it in the tabs. And I highly, if you want like a good laugh, like a good healthy laugh, highly suggest go checking it out. But she bought the Red Roan Sabino and named him Solo Snap, aka Squirrel, and yeah, just with the memories, he definitely gets a best ranking on my list. And then for the first time in 2019, they finally released a horse in the app, which was a Hanoverian on May 8th, and it was 890 star coins. Which my friend that actually trains on my account really wanted me to get this horse. I really wanted to get this horse. So I named her Daydream. She's a Bay Hanoverian. And I'm kind of torn on this horse because like I'm more irritated with myself that I didn't get a video of it out. But then on the other hand, this horse is just stunning, so I guess that means it gets a best ranking. Plus, I mean, it's not only me that loves it, you know? Next up, we have the Kaltaka, which was released on May 22nd for 850 star coins. And in my personal opinion, I feel like these horses were kind of a flop, and remind me more of giraffes than anything. Like, I thought these horses were going to be shiny, and they're just so flat. So I only bought one of the first batch that was released, and that was the Suti Buckskin, named him Coffee Bean. And at first I was like, I love this horse, you know, and I asked people if I should get it at work, and they're like, I asked for their opinion more or less, and they're like, that horse just looks muddy. And the more I ride it and stuff, the more I feel like that. So I adored this horse when it came out. I still really like the detail, but I think I'm just going to have to rank it as a worst on my list, sadly. More Kaltakas, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, were released on June 12th for 850 star coins, and this was the second batch. So the 16th horse on my list was the Silvery Buckskin. I named her Runestone, and I adore this horse. I love it, love it, love it, love it. And did I say I love it? Number 17 on my list was the Dapple Gray. I named him Moonshine, and I can respect the like sun bleaching on the tail to make it more realistic and such, but personally this horse just is not my cup of tea. Again, I like coffee, so this one just, it does not like, it's not my taste, you know what I'm saying? And Star Stable stepped up their game with some Jorvik Wild horses on June 26th for 950 star coins. And this was when Star Stable really started to get like creative with them. Like, So the first one was a Cherry Blossom horse. So it had a magical cherry blossom coat color and then a normal coat color. I named mine Hollow Blossom. And personally, I love these horses. I love the Lusitanos, so these were like right up my alley. So she definitely gets a best ranking from me. Then the second one was a Birch Tree horse, and honestly, I'm not so much a fan of like the birch tree-ness of this horse, but like the normal coat color is beautiful. When I saw these horses, like the spoilers for them, I loved the normal coat colors. So obviously this one has to be a best too, and I named mine Fernleaf. So next up we have the updated Andalusians, which were released on August 9th for 950 star coins. And I have a personal respect for these horses because that's when my channel started to gain recognition. So it just makes me have kind of like a love for these horses, but they also are just amazing. I bought all three in this like batch, but I like am not including the one I bought on my alt account. So with that being said, the first one that I bought was the Fairytale Grape. I named her Vanilla Bean, and this is one of my all-time favorite horses on the game. I feel like this horse has so much detail for being just a basic white or fairytale gray, if you will. And like the mole on the butt, I've talked about it before. I love this horse, so she definitely gets a best ranking. Then the 21st on the list is the Dapple Gray. I named him Galaxy Star, and I know a lot of people didn't really like this horse because it had more of like brown in its coat, but personally I love it, and it gets a best from me. Then we get more Andalusians on September 4th for 950 star coins again. The first one that I bought was the Palomino. I renamed it Sunshine, should I say, if you've seen those videos. And you would also know that this is definitely not one of my favorite horses, so it gets a worst ranking from me. You know, that ramen hair. 23 would be the black that I named Dark Magic, and I'm just biased towards black horses, so it gets a best, what can I say? Next, we have the Smoky Black that I named Twilight Star. And I can respect that this horse is different and unique, but it's just not for me. And it's just not a horse that I ride very often. So this gets a worst ranking on my list. Next up, we have the curly horses that were released on October 16th for 850 star coins apiece. The first one that I bought was the Chestnut. I named her Gingersnap, and I ride this horse all the time. I don't know what it is about it, but I love this horse, so she definitely gets a best ranking from me. Then we have the Dapple Gray, which I named Arctic Wind, and this horse just looks dusty and crusty to me, so it definitely gets a worst. 27 on my list is the Baydun Tobiano, and I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way, but I feel like I thought the curly horses were going to be better. You know, they weren't exactly what I was expecting. I named this one Walrus Splash, and I gave it a best because I never got that pony. But I mean, I still like them, they just weren't everything that I was expecting. Next up, we have the Halloween Jorvik Wilds on October 23rd, and they were 850 star coins apiece. The first one was the Pepita. I named it Pumpkin Pie because it looks like a pumpkin. I like its magical coat color more than I do its normal coat color, but I still think it's nice that there's kind of like a more natural option that has like the striping on the legs, which I think is pretty cool. So this one gets a best because I love the detail, and when it's a pumpkin, like just its mouth for one is amazing, and then how it's like darker on the hooves and stuff, like it's been in the mud and stuff. I didn't like that at first, but can you tell I stand this horse? Then we have the Wood Ear, which I named Ghost Eye because this horse is actually blind, which I believe is like one of the first horses that was blind and added to Star Stable. I adore its normal coat color, but I also really, really like its like magical coat color. And these were like the first horses, I believe, that actually had like a story with them. So again, this one gets a best ranking from me, and these are some of my favorite, like, well, not some of, they are my favorite Jorvik Wilds that have been added to the game to this day. Then we had the app Chincoteague Pony on November 7th for 700 star coins. It was the Buckskin named Bumblebee, and we waited ages for this horse, like months, you know? And I just feel like for that reason, it gets a worst ranking on my list. I never even really got to make that video that I tried to. Because again, I had the server error issue, so I had to completely reset my laptop again, because Star Stable doesn't seem to like to help with that. So I don't know. All in all, this horse just gets a worse, but it's not the worst of the worst. We got more curly horses on November 20th for 850 star coins yet again. I also bought all 3 of these, and the first one was a silver dapple, which I thought was a Flaxen Chestnut, and I thought that was a typo, but I looked back and they like had a silver dapple the first round, and the second round, I don't know. Anyways, I named this one Wolf Spider. I think the name really suits it, but I just don't like this horse. It's like the beef version of ramen noodles, right? So like the Andalusian is the normal version of ramen noodles, and this is the beef version, and for that fact, it gets a worst. I don't like it. Then we have the Palomino, which shockingly enough, I actually really like this Palomino. It's probably one of my favorite in the game. It hasn't like made me disgusted yet, because usually, if you know me, Palominos go on horses I regret buying. And this one hasn't done that yet. I named her Buttercup, and as far as I know for right now, she's on the best list. Then we have the Bay Tobiano. I named Cake Pop, which reminds me of the Icelandic, you know? And this one also gets a best. I love the details, I love the curliness, I love the curly fluffiness of the ears. I really like these horses, like I said, they're just not what I expected them to be. But I mean, they also were like the first horses to have animations that kind of went with your character's animations, which is also really, really cool. Then we got another Jorvik Wild on December 11th for 950 star coins, and it basically was like the Andalusian model. So it was the Fonzie, and when I saw, like, even heard about like the spoilers about this horse, I thought it was going to be like reindeer. Like, what I pictured in my head was not what I got. I named mine Hollyberry, and I really do appreciate this horse. To me, it reminds me of like a mule in its normal coat color, but it's just so basic, and for what I was expecting, this horse gets a worst from me. It doesn't mean I don't like it, but it just wasn't what I had in mind. And then we finally got the long-awaited updated Tinkers on December 18th for 850 star coins apiece. I bought all 3, and the first one that I bought was the Piebald Black Tobiano. I named her Daytime to kind of go with my channel mascot, Nighttime, the Clydesdale, and she definitely gets a best from me. I love this horse, and I have no more to say about it. It's just is great. Then we got the Silver Dapple, and I love this horse as well. I don't like it as much, but I mean, any new horses I feel like we're all a little bit biased to. It's either like you love them or you hate them, and I don't know, I like this horse. It's not like wow, but like I like this horse. I named mine Silverbell, and it gets a best on my list. Then the 37th on my list was the Skewbald Chestnut Tobiano. I named mine Old Spice, and I still stick with my saying that I feel like it should have been darker. And for that, it gets a worst on my list. I feel like it's really cool that this horse was based on like a real life horse, but also it's just not for me, you know? And then finally, we got the app Andalusian on December 19th for 950 star coins. So it was the Bay Andalusian. I named mine Ice Water because, hello, it's a tall glass of water. One might call it Bay. Yeah, so if you can't tell, that definitely gets a best on my list, and I've been riding this horse so much, I absolutely adore it. And then last but most certainly not least, these horses did not come out this year, but I still decided to buy some old Tinker models to make videos with, so let me introduce them to you. We have Swamp Monster, which personally gets a best in my opinion. This was a horse I dreamed about getting, and then like when I finally could get it, it was kind of outdated by then, and I was just like, do I really want that? But yes, I want it. I know it's mirrored, but you know what? You gotta give a little bit. And considering these are old models, I'll let it slide. And then we have the older one, the older Chestnut, and this is Dusty Chunk. I feel like that name is amazing. And so this horse also gets a best, just because even though I didn't have it back then, I can still feel like the nostalgia just seeping from it, you know? So to wrap up this video, I will be giving my list of the worst top 5 and the best top 5 horses I bought this year. So for the worst top 5, we have the first one, which is Hot Tea. One might say it's not my cup of tea, it's mirrored, and it wasn't a horse that I was like, yes, I want to buy this, you know? Number 2 would be Copperhoof, just because, I mean, come on, it's a raw lobster, kind of makes me crabby, you feel? I just don't vibe with it. Number 3 is Sunshine. Definitely not a ray of sunshine if you ask me, but to each their own. I know a lot of people like that horse. Number 4 is Arctic Wind. It's just too crusty and dusty to me, you know. It didn't really blow me away. And number 5 is Old Spice. It's just, you know, not my kind of spice. For the best top 5, number 1 is Dewdrop. Love that horse. Honestly, definitely one of my all-time favorite horses in the game. Number 2 is Ice Water, because, like, come on. That's a nice tall glass of refreshing ice water right there. Number 3 is the Wood Ear. I love the story behind it. I love both the magical coat and the normal coat. And definitely hits the spot, if you will. Number 4 would be Gingersnap. Definitely pretty sweet, just like a cookie. I love that horse. I don't know what it is about it, but I adore it. And number 5 is Swamp Monster, because you gotta appreciate the OGs sometimes, you know? Definitely. So yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys would like to do this video as well, definitely do it. I feel like it's cool to get different people's opinions. I hope you guys liked this video. Let me know your top 5, well, worst and best horses you bought this year. And I hope to catch you in the next one, guys. Adios, and thanks for watching.